wrapping up the 2024 D3Hoops.com Classic with one last Classic conversation. It's with Darren Hertz, head coach of the Wittenberg University men's basketball program, which split 2 games here at the Classic, beating Edgewood before losing to, I pulled a Redlands SUNY New Paltz box score. We get punchy at the end of the tournaments at Wittenberg and Hardin-Simmons on the final night of the tournament. Coach, first of all, thanks for coming out to the tournament, especially because this was chosen before you came on the job.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having us out here. It's been a great experience for our guys, some high-level competition, and obviously a great venue, great tournament. Every year, we look forward to coming back sometime in the near future.
And of course, we would love to have you. I have to ask, you took the job very late in the off season. Previous head coach went to take an athletic director's job elsewhere in Division III. So you're coming into this program pretty late. Tell me about how it's been just kind of getting to know the guys, getting to know what their capabilities are and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. Typically you want to try to build your team with an off season, maybe 5 or 6 months where you can really start building your team, not only on the court, but off the court. Wasn't really able to do that. So it was kind of a short off season, and quickly we had to get to know each other, and we're still doing that. Okay. Yeah. And there's a little bit of a process to that. Those things you want to happen overnight. But trust isn't built overnight. It's through shared experiences. It's through being vulnerable with each other, and we're getting there. It's been a really, really good group of kids that work hard, that are still learning me and our system, and I'm still learning them. But we're competing at a really, really good level, and I think that we haven't touched the surface yet of how good we can be as a team this year. So we're just going to keep trying to get better each and every night.
When you take over a program late like that, I assume you probably go back and watch video of games. I am guessing, and maybe you can tell me wrong, you probably don't have video of practice to watch, or maybe you might not even consider it to be useful. I'm just trying to think about how you get to know the guys a little better for what they're capable of doing on the floor.
Yeah, and again, in a quick period of time, I was able to watch some film to get an idea, on what they've done previously. As a team and as individuals. I think that was important to not come in and just say, here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I wanted to see, what are we working with? What are the skill sets and abilities of all the guys individually and collectively as a team. So I tried to get that figured out as quickly as we could, and then implement a couple things the way we want to do it. And again, that's a process that we're still learning each and every game.
And you talked about just getting to know each other. Obviously, a trip like this is a good bonding experience one way or the other, right?
No doubt. We've talked about that a lot. And like I just mentioned, I think that's probably the number one way to build trust is shared experiences.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to do a lot of that over the last couple months. And this trip has been great for us. We've had some great support from a lot of families who have come out here, some different friends, and was able to let the guys get a little taste of Vegas and see the Strip. We were really, really fortunate to practice over at UNLV, which was great, and those guys were great hospitality. That was a neat experience for our guys. And then just the hanging out, with each other all day, every day, the bus rides, the games, the meals, the plane flights, everything. There's no doubt we'll go back to Springfield a stronger team than when we came out here.
You go back, and of course, like everybody this time of year, you're straight into conference schedule. You've split 2 games so far, win against Hiram, lost to Ohio Wesleyan, and I would have to promise that the questions are not all about your learning curve, but I have to think that there's a learning curve just to get to know these opponents too. Yeah,
there's no question. Not afraid to admit, I've got a lot to learn, so I am still learning. A lot of the teams in our league, there'll be a process, to go through with that, and you can watch as much film as you want, but sometimes you got to experience it yourself. We'll get back. Hopefully, safe travels back tomorrow, and then we'll get right back to work. We've got a really, really competitive conference this year, it's going to be a learning curve each and every game. But I also think your opponent is important, and how you prepare for them and what they do. but at the same time, not losing sight of the fact that we can still get a lot better as a team and work on our team and our strengths and try to fix up some of our weaknesses.
Are you likely to see guys with the size of like what Hardin Simmons was able to throw at you today when you go back into conference play?
Yeah. Our conference has some really good size. So we've played a pretty competitive non-conference schedule and seen teams that I would say are similar to Hardin Simmons. We've probably played 2 or 3 that I thought helped prepare us a little bit for what we were going to see tonight. And then we're going to see more of that, starting Saturday. When we play Worcester. So we're
those
going to see.
Those guys are all right.
Yeah. Really talented team and have some size and like a lot of teams in our conference. We're going to be a little undersized, but we're going to find ways to be as effective as we can on both ends of the floor.
What have people told you about what that rivalry is like and what you're going to see here over the course of the next week?
Yeah, I mean it's everywhere you go, there's some sort of rivalry that's just special. And in the short time I've been at Witt, that's some of the first things that different players have mentioned. Coaches, administrators, a lot of people have talked about that. And I won't downplay it at all. It is a big rivalry. At the same time, I'm a big believer it's one game. We have 16 conference games. They all count equally, and we're going to get prepared to do the best we can in each and every single one.
Not to get too far ahead of everything, but you're coming into a division which, has, of course, different rules, different styles of how you recruit guys, different calendar for that, of course, and then, a completely different way about how we're going to go about choosing our NCAA tournament teams, even different this year than last year. How much of the whole, Division III experience you've been able to absorb? And yes, that's another learning curve question. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. And it's a good question. It's I would say I'm in the process of learning that as we go, but at the same time, I think when you get the job like I did in September, you have to pick and choose and put your energy where you think it's really, really important. And putting our energy into our team and our players and investing in them and trying to get better has been my main priority. So figuring out some of the other stuff, I think that'll take care of itself. Down the road, I will continue to learn from a scheduling standpoint, metric standpoint, all those different things, recruiting standpoint. But to me, there's nothing more important than the players that are within our program right now, and that's where I've put a lot of my energy.
Let's talk about one of those guys, for example. Trey Killens had a great night the first night, struggled a little bit from the floor and then had a couple of really positive possessions for you down the stretch. Tell me a little bit about what you've seen from him this season.
Yeah, Trey is a really good kid who is, I think he's really learning as we continue to spend time together what it takes to win. And I think him wanting to win, he wants to win as badly as anyone. And I think it's just continuing to learn that, night like tonight, he didn't shoot it well.
Yeah.
I thought he still did a lot of really good things to help our team. Mm-hmm. Okay, whether it was making the right pass, whether it was playing good defense, his body language is everything. He has really been working on that and understanding that, it's those are the nights that you become a winner. It's not the nights that you go, 10 for 12 from the field.
Right.
It's the nights that maybe you struggle a little bit. Can you still impact the team and impact winning? And I think he did as best as he could tonight. It takes a whole team, and I thought we were really competitive tonight. I thought we did a lot of good things that we can learn from and get better at. At the end of the day, we didn't make enough plays to win the game.
That's Darren Hertz, the head men's basketball coach at Wittenberg University. His team here at the 2024 D3Hoops.com Classic, and that's 16 out of 16 Classic Conversations.